Well, when I first started coming down there, when you leave here and you've never been to another country like Brazil, which I just came back from Australia, Europe. Only thing I know is what I know. So I didn't want to come to Brazil or any other country and say, let me see what they like and see can I play something else. I only can play what I know. And I came down there and I was surprised at myself because the Brazilian was much aware of my type of music. I love Brazil. When I first went down there, I didn't know, I knew there was great people around the world, but there was so loving people down there till, I just fell in love with it. Well, I can say I've had fun throughout my career, surprises and things like that, because when you first go to a country you never been, you like, what am I going to do right? What am I going to do wrong to make people still love you? So I just, I got that from my parents, just be the best, tell the best, come around. Probably trying to help some young people keep the blues alive. I've dedicated my life to blues, and blues has been, I don't know if I'm speaking that right. It's unnoticed now, unplayed. You don't hear blues on radio like you did 60 years ago. We had FM radio station. They played everybody's music. A disc jockey could play a gospel song, a jazz song, and a blues song. Now you don't hear blues dipped in there much no more. It's hardly going to be heard unless you got satellite. I don't know if you got it there now. We got it here, and at least they will play it. I don't know. Before B.B. King passed away, we talked about that. I don't know. I thought maybe something we did for them to not play the blues much anymore. And I thought the lyrics we were singing was, we sang I got one on my new album, me and Baba Rush, called I Don't Beat Around the Bush, and we were beating around the bush. You had to figure out what B.B. King and Muddy Water and them meant when they sang, BB sang the one, I got a sweet little angel, I love the way she spreads her wing. And when I got to know him, I said, man, what you meant? He said, sit down, son. I said, oh, I think I know what you meant now, so that's the way we did it. But the hip hoppers didn't do that. They didn't beat around the bush. They just told you exactly what it was. And they sold more records than any blues player I ever known. How could I say that? The royalties from those old black guys who was playing music and the whites, the extra money they had was when they figured out they owed us that money, we started getting a few pennies. Now they figured out how to not give you that. That's why you can't hardly find a big record store here in America no more. You have to get your records through technology now, so I wished I did have the real answer for you for everything you asked me, but this is all I'm seeing right now. The little checks that they wasn't given to the older guys who couldn't hardly read or write, and when they found out they did owe them, they started giving them a few pennies, and then they figured out how to go around, like I say, around the back of the house and say, I ain't gonna give you that no more, I'm gonna cut this out. I didn't have a dream. That was just something I wanted to do. When I started playing the guitar players, it wasn't an amplified guitar or electric guitar in those days, and you just played for the love of music, all those guys, and I thought they was just, making a decent living, but they wasn't. Even me, when I come here 66 years ago, I had to drive a tow truck, and I would play the guitar at night for a couple of bucks, and it was just fun. Could nobody make a lot of money, and that's when we started playing at colleges and started making $10 or $15 more than what we were making in the blues club. I always did listen to everything. I can't play it, but I can get ideas from it. I got ideas from jazz, even before they started calling the music rock and roll. We was playing it, and everything was R&B, rhythm and blues. And I listened to a lot of jazz, and if I can steal a lick from a horn player or keyboard player, I tried that on my guitar, and then it paid off because A lot of my licks you hear me play now is one like B.B. King, one like Muddy, one like T-Bone, and then one might be like a great horn player. A future dream, because I've been helping. I got a young man named Kingfish. I found him in Mississippi, and I paid for the recording myself. And Quinn Sullivan. And these was young kids, and I said, hey, somebody need to know. And matter of fact, I don't know if a guy can make you laugh. When I first found Quinn Sullivan, Eric Clapton had a show in New York, and I'd taken Quinn with me, and I think he was about 7 years old. And Eric asked me, who is that? I said, wait till you hear him. And the first thing he said, why did you find him at? I said, he found me.
I'm so excited to talk to you. I'm a big fan. I have a surprise for you. Look at me.
Oh, wow. Every time I see that, I think about how did I come up with that, man? I was the first child to leave Louisiana, and my mother had a stroke, and she was crazy about all 5 of her children. And I lied to her and told her I was going to Chicago and money up here than I did in Louisiana. And I was going to send her a lot of money back, and I was going to buy a polka dot Cadillac.
Yeah.
And I knew I was lying, so I didn't get a chance to tell her before she passed away. So I sat down one day and said I should just come up with something in memory of that. And I came up with the guitar at first, and then people started popping up with the T-shirts, the shirts, and even I got hats and caps with the polka dots.